in their land, calling on authorities to intervene before more lives and livelihoods are lost. Bumi Adegun is our guide tonight.
It was a journey longer than anticipated. The reporter never imagined Itasin Imobi would be this remote. Upon arrival at the local government headquarters in Ogbere, we were advised to park our vehicle and hire a motorcycle, as the community was still over an hour and a half away. The cost, 3,000 naira per trip. Fortunately, the road, though rough and winding, was somewhat motorable, so we pressed on, determined to reach the community from Ogbere to Imobi and finally to Itasi, bordering Epe by water. The journey was grueling but worthwhile. The moment we arrived, the look on the villagers' faces said it all. A community in silent agony, desperately waiting for someone to listen, someone to share in their pain. Our first stop was the residence of the Adele Oba of Itasi Imobi. The throne is currently vacant following the recent death of their king. Still mourning, the Adele Oba welcomed us and offered insight into the lifeblood of the community: farming, fishing, and palm kernel trade.
You have rightly said, we are very close to the lagoon, and a few kilometers from here, you get to the lagoon. From there, you get to Ekwe. Even before the arrival of this accessible road, our main access for coming from the town is through the lagoon, and by that, this place has been in existence for centuries ago, precisely around 16th, 17th century. You know, our main occupation here is fishing and farming. And when you say farming, it involves logging, this and that. In fact, our youths here, they engage mainly in farming, fishing, and they do logging.
The Adele Oba recounted how these elephants have roamed the area for nearly 8 years, peacefully coexisting with the people until recently. They would stray from their hideouts in the nearby creeks, wander briefly into the village, and return, never causing harm. That peace has now been shattered.
Even when they came, they do come to the community to eat banana and other plantains, and we have been coexisting peacefully. But I don't know, but rumor had it that it is the injection they gave them there where they left that has expired. That is why they now grew wild. Because when they came, they are very friendly. There was a day we are doing this traditional sacrifice. They came there, just there, 2 of them, and they were dancing. But recently, I don't know, they've grew they grew wings and
Still visibly shaking, the Adele Oba led us to the home of the late Musa Kalamu, the farmer recently killed by one of the elephants. An uncompleted building stood where Musa once lived, a clear sign of a man still struggling to provide for his family. He leaves behind a grieving wife and 5 children. His wife has been on a mat since the incident, completely distraught. We could only coax a few words from her.
My son said the elephant chased him and his father, and they ran in different directions. He ran to the community for help, but by the time they returned, the elephant had killed his father.
She confirmed that Musa had gone to the farm that morning with their eldest son Korede, who narrowly escaped. Korede, still in shock, told us What happened?
We were at the farm, as usual, discussing how to start the day's work, when two elephants suddenly charged at us. My dad couldn't outrun them, but I escaped and ran to call for help. By the time we returned, the elephant had killed them.
Soon, word of our presence spread through the village, and the home of the deceased filled with concerned residents. Hope lit their eyes, not for money or compensation, but for help, for a voice that might carry their plight to those in power. One by one, they came forward to tell their stories.
Fear has taken over. Young and old can no longer go to the farm. We are terrified of another elephant attack.
We urged the government to relocate the elephant. We cannot farm, and that's our only source of livelihood.
àfi 80,000 kọ́kọ́ àwọn mọ́là wọ́n gba owó gbígbìn wọ́n gba 70,000 ó dé dàsìkò tí nǹkan yẹn ń jáde erin débẹ̀ ó mú gbogbo ẹ̀ ó jẹ gbogbo ẹ̀ tán.
From destroyed crops to life-threatening encounters, details were endless. Many spoke of deaths running into millions of naira and of being left jobless.
These elephants have ruined my livelihood. Now, my children are stuck at home because I can't afford their school fees. They are now in debt, running into millions of naira and living in constant fear.
One man, Bello Kunle, narrowly escaped death. His story, a chilling reminder of how dangerous the situation has become.
I went to the farm with a friend when the elephants attacked. By God's grace, we escaped, but not without scars.
Mr. Tunde Sani, the lead supervisor for the Ministry of Forestry in this region, knows the terrain very well. He has followed the story of these elephants for years and shared valuable context and history behind the community's relationship with the wildlife.
2018, sometimes in 2018, mid-2018, we heard of the elephants, we heard that the elephants moved to Itasin straight from somewhere in J1, elephant concession, to Itasin. But what we read about elephants is that they have memory, a very good memory. They are one of the smartest animals in the world, and they have very good memories. They can keep memories of things about 100 years. So the history that we heard, that in the past, elephants had stayed or had existed in Itasin area in the past. So there's a likelihood that when the elephants were troubled, let me put it like that, when they were troubled or disturbed, when their habitat, possibility that their habitat was disturbed, they started moving away. They remembered where they had stayed in the past. Maybe that was why they came to Itasin. But before 2018, elephants wasn't around Itasin.
He emphasized that the government has never turned a blind eye to such incidents. Even in the past, when a local killed an elephant, swift action and investigations followed. Authorities are not unaware, but the challenges remain enormous.
This is not the first time, but it is a very rare case. Actually, in a year or two, you hardly hear about this kind of incidents. You understand? But like I said, the forest is big. The Ombo forest alone is about 136,000 hectares of land. It's a very, very big expanse of land. And like I said, this place is a forest. It is not a farm settlement. This place is a forest. You understand? And there are particular areas that is left out from the forest as a conservation area for these animals, because we know how wide they can be when they are attacked. So we always advise people not to go near this conservation area, because they traverse this area in search of water and the rest. So this area, that's why they are called conservation areas for elephants. You understand? So we don't even expect anybody to even reside there. You understand? So when our people go there, we tell them, okay, fine, if you're going there for farming, if you see these elephants, if you see them, just go away from that area, or you allow them just move peacefully.
The Saturday Special crew ventured even further, this time by water, to trace the creeks where these elephants are believed to hide. It was a dangerous expedition, but the story must be told and the voices of the people must be heard. Musa Kalam is gone, but the fear in this community remains. If nothing is done to curb the roaming elephants, who will be next? The people of Itasi Mobi want only to farm and live in peace, but their farmlands have become battlegrounds and their futures uncertain.